Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, we are now 7 weeks out from the 2024 Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. And now we've got a physique update, again, from Horse MD. Marcelo De Angelis from Brazil. And I can't say enough how impressed I've been with what he's been able to do with his pro debut, with the transformation that he made, considering the fact that he initially was pursuing classic physique, but he was struggling to make the weight in that category, switched over to men's open bodybuilding, put on a pretty significant amount of size, and now we see him here, not lacking any size at all. And I'm going to show you guys some other updates as well, but in this particular one, he has the caption that he weighs 124 kilos, which is 273 pounds. 273.373 to be exact. That's a pretty big guy. And granted, he is a little bit on the taller side. I believe he's 5'10 or 5'11, which is a little bit taller for a pro bodybuilder. But still, at 7 weeks out, 273 is not light for a guy that just turned pro. Well, he didn't just turn pro, but just made his pro debut at the Romania MuscleFest Pro towards the end of 2023, where he was top 3 in a lineup with guys like Samson and Nathan Asha. Overall, a pretty impressive pro debut, and overall looking really impressive in these updates. And a lot of people are talking about these Brazilian guys, especially in the Arnold Classic lineup, as there could be like a nice Brazil takeover here. Not only do you have Horse MD, but you've got Rafael Brandao in this lineup, and I've seen some interesting conversation about him. Could you have 2 Brazilian bodybuilders in that top 6 in the first call-out, really making a strong showing at the Arnold Classic? Now, next up in the news, the latest physique update from Nick Walker, and this is the kind of stuff that I like to see from these top-level pros, especially the caption that Nick has on this post. He says, "The only shot that I personally believe has held me back, the only shot that I always got beat in, the only shot I care about making better." And it's a recent update of his front lat spread, and I think most people would agree that is probably his weakest pose, in a pose that he often gets beat in. So I like to see a bodybuilder like Nick, that's a top-level guy, acknowledging this, working on it, and posting pictures where he seems like he has made some slight improvements to that pose. And I think one of the reasons for that pose not being the greatest for him is his midsection. I think he could bring up his back, but I think his arms, and he's so muscular from the front, it really hides the flare of the lats, and him being a more compact, a shorter guy with that much muscle, there's not as much room for him to show the taper from the front because he's so compacted, so it makes him a little bit less aesthetic. I know earlier in his career, a lot of people called him a blocky bodybuilder, and this is one of the poses that does kind of have that attribute of blocky. But this is what it takes to be one of the top bodybuilders in the world, is to say, okay, here's my weakest pose. I'm going to show you guys. I acknowledge it. I'm working on it. I'm going to do better. And I also wanted to say, Nick messaged me after however many videos ago was my last video about Nick, where again these rumors came up. Is Nick doing the Arnold Classic or not? I said in that video, I don't think he is. He again confirmed to me he's not doing the Arnold, so don't get your hopes up. There's not going to be a last-minute entry from Nick in the Arnold Classic. That's a show he's not doing. Despite how good he looks in these recent updates, it's still going to take him some time to come back from that hamstring injury. So I wanted to include that too, because I still see comments and I still see messages of people saying, do you think Nick might jump in at the last minute? There's a lot of people that want to see him do the Arnold, but he's not doing it. Now, next up in the news, I wanted to talk about Kalecinski. He did a recent collaboration with Nathan Asha because they share a mutual coach. Boss of Outlaw is the coach of both of them. And they did a collaboration, and I was really impressed with how looked here from a size standpoint. We know that after the Olympia and in between shows, he really blows up beyond the classic physique weight limit, but he still looks really lean, really good, etc. And in this update, he's posing with Nathan Asha, who obviously is a long-time established open pro bodybuilder. And obviously, is prepping for the Arnold Classic, where he's going to be taking on Ramon, trying to take that title from Ramon Dino. And at this point is probably Ramon's biggest competition aside from Breon. We know that Terrence is not doing the show now. But the reason I wanted to talk about this collab in this video is because whether it's the angle or the poses or the positioning in the video, really out-angles Nathan Asha quite a bit in these updates. And from a size standpoint, He almost looks bigger than Nathan in some of the shots. It's really impressive how big Urs actually looks, and we saw this when they did the pose down that included classic physique guys and open bodybuilders at one of the post-Olympia shows that Urs did. And Urs came out even with most of his tan already taken off and did that, posing at the end with the open bodybuilders. And he still looked big next to them, but seeing him next to Nathan, he looks really impressive. And as we get closer to this Arnold Classic, I think people might forget a little bit because the open bodybuilding lineup is so crazy. But Classic Physique, we've got a nice battle on our hands to watch. Essentially, a repeat of the Olympia, just minus Chris Bumstead. And of the Classic Physique guys, I'm generally, when Chris isn't in the lineup, I'm generally the most impressed with the updates that we see of Urs, whether it's the off-season, how big he looks in the off-season while still maintaining conditioning, or then when you get closer to the show, the crazy conditioning that Urs tends to have, the striated glutes, the deep separation in the hamstrings, the cross striations in the quads, the vascularity, the deep striations in the chest. Like when we get really close to the show and Urs is like peeled to the bone, typically when we're talking about classic guys, he's the guy that, as far as updates goes, impresses me the most. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below about these latest updates from Urs Kalecinski, and how do you think he's going to do at the Arnold Classic in 7 weeks? Now, next up in the news, I wanted to give a shout out to Derek Lunsford, who, with his wife, just welcomed a healthy baby girl 3 days ago. I feel like you just can't help but be happy for the guy, because he's such a nice guy, and what a great couple of months he's had, winning the Olympia, then having his first kid. So his first year as being the best bodybuilder on the planet, he also gets to enjoy as his first year being a dad. You got to be happy for him, man. So congratulations to Derek Lunsford and his wife on welcoming a healthy baby girl into the Lunsford family. Now, next up in the news, Rubiel Mascara, Neckzilla, one of the most talked about on social media newest professional bodybuilders in the IFBB Pro League, coming over from the IFBB Elite Pro. He was one of the top talent over there. And really, frankly, we haven't gotten a whole lot of physique updates from him going into the Arnold Classic, but in the last day, he posted this update, just training calves. And again, people call him Neckzilla because he's got this crazy thick neck. But I feel like his lower body is one of the most impressive from just a sheer size standpoint that we've seen in a very long time. I wouldn't be mad if people started calling him Quadzilla, but calves too. He's got some pretty insane calves, and it seems like in recent years, bodybuilders have reignited the importance of calf training, because it seemed like there was a period of time where most of the top guys just didn't have calves. But Rubiel's calves in this video, just monstrous. And again, we haven't really gotten many physique updates from him other than stuff like this. And I know that he was one of the 3 guys on that initial Arnold Classic lineup list with Hadi Chupin, Andrew Jacked, and himself. They were the 3 that were listed as pending. And at the time, what I was told was of those 3, Rubiel was the most uncertain between Andrew Jacked and Hadi Chupin. It looks like Andrew Jacked and Hadi are both in and confirmed and no longer pending status. But Rubiel was the guy that I was told was the most, there was the biggest chance of him potentially not doing it. But hopefully he does, and hopefully we still get to see him compete. But it is worth pointing out we haven't seen a whole lot of physique updates from him other than like some crazy leg videos. And he did post one update on his story where you could see his upper body, not very well, and this is a bit of a stretch to try to draw any conclusions from this. But I thought he looked a little bit smooth in the upper body for a guy that's 7 weeks out. So I wonder if he is still planning on competing in the Arnold. But that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys thought about all these stories today in the comments below. And as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. Alright guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also check out my Instagram at NickStrengthPower. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt,
That will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.